Gratulerer med dagen. Happy Norwegian Constitution today. This is episode 12 of Quarantine Kitchen. I'm your host Clinton, and today we're going to be making one of my favorite dishes, Lompa. So, if you know anything about Norwegian National Day or Constitution Day, we have lots of different traditions, and one of the things is you can eat as much ice cream and hot dogs as you want throughout the day, at least for kids, but we do the same thing in our house. And today we're going to be making a bread that goes with the hot dogs. Now, compared to a lot of other countries in the world, we don't use traditionally the American hot dog bun. We actually use something called Lompa, which is a flat potato bread. And then we just take that and we wrap the hot dog in it, put some ketchup and mustard, and then we eat those and they're delicious, and we do grills all day, and it's a really fun holiday. So what I want to show you guys today is how to make Lompa from scratch at home. Whether you're anywhere else in the world, this is a great thing to have for hot dogs, but also for breakfast or for just as a fun bread to make. And also for you guys back home in Norway, you might want to try making this from scratch one time. It's fun. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. For your ingredients today, you're just going to need potatoes, butter, salt, milk, and all-purpose flour. All right, so you're going to take 1 pound of potatoes, or that's about 450 grams, and you're going to peel them, and then you're going to cut them into sizes about this big. Make sure they're uniform sized. We're going to go ahead and put them in a large pan. Spread them out, and then we're going to fill it up with water just so that the potatoes are covered. All right, we're going to add some water to the pan. There we go. Now that we have it covered, we're going to go ahead and turn on our stove, and we're going to cook them. We're going to cook them for approximately 10 to 12 minutes. We want them to be very soft because we're going to mash them. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
10 minutes later-ish.
Okay, so it's been about 12 minutes. We're going to go ahead and drain our potatoes now. They are very soft. Take a fork. You see they go right through without any effort at all, so that means they're definitely ready. Let's go ahead and drain them in the sink. There we go. Now that we got all of our potatoes into this bowl, we're going to go ahead and mash them up. If you have a potato masher, then use that. Here in our home, we just have a fork, so we're going to go ahead and mash our potatoes up like this. You want to make sure that there's no chunks. So mash them well. All right, we have it almost pretty much all mashed up here. We're going to just get the last finishing ones here. Looking good though. All right, while it's still hot, we're going to go ahead and add our butter, cream, and salt. So we're using 1/4 cup unsalted butter. Chop them up into pieces when you put it in there. And then you're going to go ahead and mix it in with there. It should melt, smooth out your potatoes a bit. All right, looks like our butter is all melted. Go ahead and add your 1/4 cup heavy cream. Mix it all up. And then here you might still see some chunks, so go ahead and get those out. It's really important that we have as nice as smooth of potato mash as possible, because we don't want that to show up in our dough later. Mix all up. Then go ahead and finally add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix it all up until it's all mixed together and dissolved, and it just looks like a nice big thing of creamy mashed potatoes.
I'm going to use the spatula to mix up the rest.
Okay, so that's it for now. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this into a container. It's going to go in the fridge for 24 hours. That's a really important process and step. It's going to do something to the potatoes and make it exactly the right consistency to work with tomorrow to make our potato pancakes, or Lompa.
24 hours later.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull our potatoes out of the fridge. They've been in there for about 24 hours. Go ahead and take it. And you're going to pour it into a big bowl, like this one. I have to use a spatula. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Next, you're going to take 1 cup of flour and you're going to add it to these mashed potatoes that we made yesterday. And you can do a little bit because you're going to have to break up the potatoes with the flour. I like to do it like this. It's going to get a bit crumbly, but just keep working it because eventually it'll absorb all the flour. So don't worry too much about that. Put it all in there. Perfect.
Eventually I will move to my hands. Slowly absorbing it.
There we go. We got our nice big ball here. Okay, so next thing you're going to do, go ahead and put that to the side. We're going to use a big works space like this one. Go ahead and flour it out because we're going to roll out our dough. And keep your flour on the side because you're going to need it. We're going to go ahead and roll this into a log, a pretty thick one, okay? Try to keep it even all the way across. Spread your flour out. You don't want it to stick to your work surface. Okay, I think that's good. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to divide this into 16 pieces to make some smaller Lompa. Okay, there we go. Now today I'm going to be using this, but you can use a knife as well. Okay, so more or less 16. I did 15 here. Some are going to be bigger than others. But that's okay. Once you've done that, roll away. I'm going to take a small plate. I'm going to just put a little bit of flour on there as well. Perfect. You're going to take each one of these and you're going to roll them into balls. Like that. Put them on your plate. Sometimes you got to squeeze them a little bit to get them to mold together. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. It's okay.
A few moments later.
There we go. All right, so there they are. I'm going to keep it to the side. And we're going to use a clean cloth. Go ahead and cover them. Cover them up. Now for this next part, I'm using a pancake skillet or a griddle. Works fine. We're going to go ahead and turn it on. We want it to be on medium-high. And you're going to put just a dollop of butter on there. We don't want there to be too much fat on the pan, especially since this is a non-stick pan. While that's just heating up, we're going to go ahead and roll out our first Lompa. Go ahead and take one of those balls. And you're going to press it down in the middle with your palm, okay? So make sure you have a well-floured workspace. And this is going to get sticky, so you want to just keep adding flour and don't be afraid to add more. Okay. Flour our rolling pin. And you want to roll this out basically as thin as you can make it. It's going to be delicate, so just take your time, okay? Don't put too much force on it. And normally these can go pretty thin. Now this is where the scraper comes in handy because, like I told you guys, it gets sticky. You're going to want to keep moving, flipping, all of that. Keep flouring it because it gets sticky. I actually think we've gotten it pretty thin here. So if you guys have ever made a pie crust or a pastry crust, you know how delicate the dough can be. We're going to remove it from the working space in very much the same way. You're actually going to remove it with the rolling pin. So like that. That way it just pulls it right up with it. There we go. Didn't quite get it on there. Well, okay, there we go. We'll get better at it. And it's going to cook for about 2 minutes like that. On medium-high. I prepared a plate here for the finished product. I got myself a big spatula to get all the way underneath there. We're going to do about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, okay? Okay, so now it's been on there for a few minutes. On one side, we're going to go ahead and flip it. See how we're getting those nice brown marks on there? I probably could have cooked a little bit longer, so I might flip it one more time later. But that's kind of like what we're looking for here. And it held together much better once it was heated. So it's just very delicate to get it on there. But once you get it going, then it's good.
A few attempts later.
We're going to go ahead and try to do this one just by hand. There we go. At the end of the day, do what's easiest. Figure out what's best for yourself. And see, once it cooks a little bit, it's already sliding around. Means it's all stuck together. So we got ourselves good consistency there. You take a look at this last one. Looks good. They really don't have to cook very long. Just 2 minutes, it's enough. And then you flip it to the other side, 2 minutes, and then roll it on. So you can get a production line going. All right, so it looks like we're just about done with our last Lompa. Looks good. We got a little bit better as we went up through. Here's our nice stack. Go ahead and put it onto the, oops, the finished plate here. Get underneath it. There we go. All right. And I'm gonna actually let these cool down. Here's our final product. I think we made a total of 17. And we'll go ahead and get ready for celebrations, and we'll show you how to eat them. So here we are. We are all dressed up and ready to go for the 17th of May. Look, everyone's nicely dressed up. We have set a table for brunch today, and I'm going to show you how to make your hot dog with the Lompa. So go ahead and take the Lompa that we've made. Take your hot dog. Then you take your ketchup and mustard. Honestly, you can put whatever you want. I know a lot of people like to put grilled onions on there. A little bit of mustard. And then you roll it up. And then we eat it.